Hey, welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host Shubs, here with our very first All Black, very first Southland Stag, very first Highlander, very first Rico back Ram, and I don't even know what the Bearits team's called, but the very first fella that played for Bearits, Elliot Dixon. How are you, my cousin?
Yeah, good, bro. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
No, yeah. Oh, I forgot to say Maori All Black as well. Let's not forget that one. And
Oh, yeah, cheers, brother.
whatever other teams you play for anybody that don't know about you, brother, where you from, all that little bit of jazz, brother, can you fill us in?
Yes, sweet as. So from Christchurch originally, born
Yep.
and bred here. Back in Christchurch now. So came back from France a couple of years, about 6 months ago. But yeah, born and bred Christchurch. Went to school, went to high school here. Started Crusaders development, and then
Mm.
went down to Southland pretty much 2009. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Hey, speaking of Southland, do you know a guy named Jay Thompson?
Jay Thompson, yes, he's a bit younger. I think he's a bit
Yeah,
younger
yeah,
than me. Yeah,
yeah,
I do
yeah,
know
yeah.
him.
Would
He
be.
was in the, yeah, but younger than me, brother. But yeah, he was in the development squad when I was training down there my last couple of years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's my first cousin. Shout out to Jay.
Oh,
Um,
small world, eh?
yeah, small world cousin. Shout out to my little cuz.
Uh,
On those daddy duties now. Um, so growing up in Christchurch, what was that like, cuz? If you could,
yeah, it was good. It was good. I had one older brother. Um, so he was 2 years older than me.
mm,
So my mum was a nurse. My dad was a police officer. So
ooh,
we lived in Hoon, which is a bit of the ghetto in
oh
Christchurch,
yeah.
but it was a good place to live, right beside a skate park in Rowley Ave. And then
Did you
yeah,
spend some time at the skate
just a
park?
pretty standard childhood, to be honest, mate.
Did you do a bit of tricks on the skateboard? You go right on the skateboard?
No shit, no, bro. I can just sit on my bum and go down, and that's about it.
Oh, true, not even stand, cuz.
Nah, bro, nah. I've never been good on that sort of stuff. I can't ski, I can't skateboard, I can't do anything like that, and haven't really had the opportunity since I've been playing rugby. But now that I've quit,
Yeah, true that.
yeah, yeah, get back in there and try and get on the skateboard. But the kids are way better than me anyway, so no,
Solid.
probably not.
Did you which your old man being a police officer, was he like did he was he like on the low key, or was he driving around with the wheels? Did you go for a bit of
Yeah,
a ride
some,
on the sometimes
yeah,
growing up?
yeah, yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, no, I think we asked him heaps, and we did get to go around, but it was mostly when our friends were around. He'd come rolling up in the
Oh,
police
solid.
car. But yeah, no, he was pretty good at like getting us in the cars and showing us all the gears and stuff like that, which was pretty cool. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's good. And I actually went with him when I was growing up to the police gym. So the police gym right in Central City before the earthquakes, there was like a big compound, and that's where all like the dog squad was, and the
Yep.
AOS and stuff were training, and they'd train in the gym there. So I went there when I was about 14, 15, first time going to the gym and stuff. So yeah, I went there with the dad, and it was quite fun. Something different.
Oh, gee. Is the old boy still around? Is he still a policeman?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. So he's still going. Actually, he's just gone back to work. He had about 4 months off. Yeah, he's still going. Mum's not working, but they both live out in Lincoln. So excuse me.
oh,
Yeah, so they're still kicking. They're around babysitting and stuff like that, which is awesome. So it's always good to be back in New Zealand so we can get some babysitters.
yeah, yeah, that helps, because
Hard,
100%
hard.
that support network. I'm guessing
hard.
you want to handle too many being overseas.
Nah, so there was a tough thing. So my wife, Paige, and the two boys at the time came over to Japan when I first
Yep,
moved over there in like 2018, 2019.
yep.
They only came for about 6 months, and then it was a bit too tough over there. It was just a bit niggly. And then in France, we decided that we'd all go over, which was great. But yeah, the network is the family network, and having I suppose brothers and sisters and
Yeah.
parents and grandparents and stuff is yeah, that's pretty hard when you're by yourself and you're getting no respite and stuff. And I'm away every second weekend or every weekend, so it's a bit tough
Yeah.
on the wife. Yeah.
Yeah. It's invaluable having those support systems, but especially that whānau, like you say, your parents and
Yeah,
siblings.
yeah,
Did you have a little
it is.
community like in your fellas team, or maybe with a few?
Yeah, we had a good foreigners group in both teams, to be honest. In
Yep.
Tokyo, we had we had like a whole street that was pretty much foreigner boys, New Zealand boys.
Yep.
It was called Fairy Garden, which is a little bit of a weird name, but that's what it was called. Fairy Garden. So it had like Colin Burke, Broadhurst, Robbie Robinson, and all those boys. So I came up playing with Robbie Robinson and schoolboys, and then Southland, and then obviously followed them over to Japan too. Yeah, for the Stags, and then followed them over to Japan for a couple of years, 3 years, and then in France we had a real good crew. We had a lot of Aussie boys, a couple of South African guys, but then there was another team there as well, and there was a lot of Maori boys, like which is good. It was a bit of a home away from home, and France was a pretty cool lifestyle for us and the kids. We're on the beach pretty much all the time. A lot of cafe living. The kids were learning French pretty fluent and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a good time, but it was time to come home.
Yeah, nah, solid, brother. So growing up in Christchurch, though, did you experience, because being obviously, is your mum Maori, dad Maori, or how does it work?
No, my dad's Maori, so my dad's half Maori actually. So his father was Maori and his mother was half Maori as well. So he was actually whangaed out to his grandmother. So we didn't know that he was whangaed out to his grandmother until he was about 30.
True.
Until I was about 10, 11. So yeah, so we didn't really know. So our last name isn't really Dixon, but it's on the birth certificate. My last name's actually Wikaida. So
Wikaida. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So we're from.
Is that like old Tama from Southland Street? He was like what, David Wikaida Paulie, isn't he? Oh, true.
Yeah.
Well, did you experience much Ngāti Whātua, eh? Did you experience like any, like, I don't know, being half and then, like, you know, not being the darkest? You might have. Did you experience any? Sometimes when I talk to some of the cousins, it would be like a bit of a superpower. They get to go into rooms that you probably don't get in when you're a brown fella, you know what I mean? And get to hear a few words that, these bit ugly around here.
Yeah, so I suppose Christchurch has probably got a bit of a bad reputation as a bit like that, a little bit pretty staunch and not many Māori guys or not many colour, but I think it's when I was growing up, I didn't see too much of it. Hey?
Oh, that's pretty good, brother. That's pretty good that you didn't see too much of it then.
Yeah, I suppose it probably helps having a police officer as a dad.
True that, eh?
And yeah, obviously I'm not really the brownest of Māoris, but obviously in the heart I am. But
Māori nonetheless.
Yeah, my dad's pretty brown, which is and I can get pretty brown as well in summer, which is always great. But yeah, I suppose there was times, but mostly I didn't really feel like it was ever a disadvantage, especially for myself or my family. Sometimes you'd hear stories or hear back comments and stuff like that, but I never really thought it.
Not your own experience, more other outside sort of realm, and like you said, having a police officer for a dad probably helps those situations.
It does help.
Yeah. Did you ever get any assholes from your friends, from your mates, having a police officer for a dad? Or like, what, did they give you cheeky to you? Or?
Yeah, of course, yeah. But I suppose it was just growing up. They'd probably give you a little bit of grief that your father was a cop, but they always were pretty thankful when you'd turn up to a party and tell you to go and go this way, don't go that way, or don't go this way because there's some cops coming, or don't go to that party and stuff like that. So we always had some good information before Facebook and cell phones and all that sort of jazz. So I think the friends were pretty grateful.
Shout out to the old man. Eh?
Yeah, hard. Shout out to mum and dad.
Mum, of course. Nurse, obviously, nurse, so probably a very caring lady as well. Shout out to them, brother. But you said you were in the Crusaders development, was it?
Yes. Yep. So what happened there? So I was age group stuff, Canterbury age group stuff, all the way up from, I think I was like under 48s was my first real tournament, like under 13 or under 12s, I think, just before high school. So they used to do under 65, under 48, so I was quite small. And so I made under 48s, and then I made pretty much all the rep teams until I got to when everyone else started getting real big. I stayed the same pretty much. I missed out on quite a few rep teams when I was about 14, 15, 16. and then got picked up going into first 15, and then got asked to go to the Crusaders development and play like I don't know, like do the 6 a.m. trainings, gym, and then 5 p.m. trainings and speed trainings and stuff like that. And during the day, you either worked or studied or did what I did, which was play Xbox and not much else.
Yeah, the Xbox. What was the game you was jamming on Xbox?
I think it was, what was it? Gears of War 1 or 2, I think, back in the day.
Oh, yeah. You still jamming Xbox these days, cuz? Or?
I got both. Lucky, eh?
Then, you gotta like that,
eh? So I've got a PS5. I play just the games that I can't play on Xbox, and the Xbox I play the games that I can't get on PS5. So
what do you prefer though?
And then I just
like if someone's like boom, gun to your head, you gotta choose one console.
Or the Xbox, yeah.
Why is that? Is it the size of it or? Nah, not bad,
know,
cuz it's your choice. I don't know. But people are making millions of dollars on these things now, cuz. Yeah. Hey.
I think it's just more the Game Pass is way better. Like you pay,
I think
you can pay like $10 a month and you get like 600 games that you can play.
Ooh, far up.
Compared to PlayStation, you can play like 10 or 15 games and they only come out with 3 good ones every month. So Xbox is just the whole thing. You get the whole catalog, which is good.
Bit of a hack for the people then. I'm not really a gamer because you know, so but like there you go. Finally, anyone that is Xbox might be the go because get 600 games sounds good to me.
Get
a bit of a deal.
Get on it.
Hey, need the man butcher to sell that one. No.
Yeah.
1999 kilo.
If I get a commission, I'll sell it for him.
Yeah, come on now, Xbox, hook up the brother. Yeah, so were you at school at the time or like coming through the gates? What was your school called, cuz?
Yeah, St. Bede's. I went to St. Bede's.
Oh, it is Bede's. Alpha then, yeah, Bede's. I know something else, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So I went to St. Bede's.
Was Michael Leach there too?
Yeah, so Michael Leach was the year between me and my brother. So he was probably sixth form. Oh, so he was a year older than me, a year younger than my brother. So yeah, in between. He left probably in fourth form or fifth form, his fifth form, just to go to Japan and go to high school there and then college over there. So yeah.
True. With any other like with your age group or anything at school? Any other weapons or they ended up kicking?
In my age, we had a couple of guys that made like NPC. Like Jess, so Alex Ryan and a few of those boys that were down in Southland as well. Then we had like Faimalo Magazine, which was he was a hooker, and then he went over to Germany and played as well. And then, probably the guys that you probably know is like James Lynch's. Highlanders 7, and then also Billy Harmon, who's playing now. He was a Beats boy as well, but he was a bit younger than me. So yeah, we've had quite a few good run from the last 10, 15 years, which is good.
Yeah, mean. That's pretty mean.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
But like you and your brother, two of them, like biggest to come from there, I guess. Or obviously.
No, not my brother. No, my brother never played. So my brother's not Ash. My brother's.
That's not even your brother. No, fuck it up. Hey,
I get that.
Telling me lies, Wikipedia.
I know somebody.
Sorry, cuz. Far out. Delete. No. You carry on there. No. I'll leave it in there. Yeah, it's all good.
It's a better click.
So heaps of people, because like when I told a couple of cousins, they're like, "Oh, this is his brother." I was like, I actually see it. Like, and then I should have, and then I looked it up. I was like, oh, maybe it is. Not even.
Nah, it's not. We're
that's hilarious.
About the same age, but he went to Christchurch Boys High. So Ash went to Christchurch Boys High, then went up to Hawke's Bay, and then came.
Is he your cousin or not even?
Nah, nothing. Because I was finding right out that Dixon isn't really our last name. So, no, there might be something down the line that we might be fucking 8th cousins, but man, everyone's 8th cousins, aren't they? So,
right, Adam and Eve. Something like that. My bad, cuz. Do your research, B.
Hard.
Fuck, amateur. No, solid, brother. but then you go from obviously Kura there, and then how old are you when you end up down in Southland?
Okay, so I went in 2009. So she's,
Yep.
I would have been like 19. I just finished 20s, under 20s,
Yep.
New Zealand 20s. So I got picked for New Zealand 20s. Came back from that. Didn't have
How
a
did you
gig
go in
with.
that one? And
Yeah,
how
we
did
won it
2009
over in
finish for you?
Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's when Zach's dad died. Zach Guilford's dad died at the actual the final, which was
true.
yeah, so it was
Holy
pretty
Rick.
heartbreaking. Yeah, so it was in Japan though. We won that. Dave Rennie was the coach. We had a hissing team. We had
Yeah.
geez, bro. We
You
had our
rattle off
forward
some
pack was
names.
we had Cruden.
Oh, he goes alrighty. The fella.
Yeah,
Not too
Charlie
bad.
Natai.
Oh, he was alright. Up the
Robbie
Chiefs.
Robinson. Yeah. Who else do we have? Xavier on the wing, Zach Guilford on the other wing. Bro, we had some hissing team, and then like our forwards were kind of like just good, probably not like.
Yeah.
We had like Brendan O'Connor who played for the Bay. Obviously, I
Yeah.
played. There's a couple other boys that played for the Bay as well, and then just the rest were just good workers. Not really many of
Yeah.
us kicked on like
Yeah.
for the forwards, but all the backs kicked on.
Where did you play in the forward? Sorry, I forgot to ask too. Like growing up, had you always been same positions? Like what was
Nah.
your
First when I was younger, I was 15 or
Yeah.
wing, and then got a growth
Wing.
spurt. Yeah, hard, fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, kia tere, tama. No, it's fast days, bro.
What the marapeti? Hey, let's go,
Yeah,
cuzzy.
hard. So, I was, until I grew at about 16, and then they're like, oh, maybe just go into the forwards, and then so I played lock for a year, and then played 6, 7, or 8. Yeah, after that.
Oh, yeah, solid. Did you ever like if someone? Hey, what's your favorite position to play? Like if you had to choose, do you have a
Oh, it
preference?
depends. Yeah, I did for a while. Like I loved 6, and like
Okay.
that's where I made my bread and
Yeah.
butter. Like that's where
Hard.
but I think like all the others, 6 and 7 and 8, all different. Like 8 ball running, so you get
Yeah.
into the game a lot more that way. 6 is more defensive and blindside, kind of like the defensive side of the short side, and then
Yeah.
7's pretty much more tackling and into the game first phase.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I honestly love all of them, but yeah, obviously 6, I was probably better at 6 than I was at 7 and 8, but I loved all of it.
Did you prefer a different position, say, like in the different games? Because like the game in New Zealand compared to Japan and compared to France, like, well, did you prefer a different style or a different position?
Even depending on which team we're playing, to be honest.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, so like if I was playing South African guys, then I'd like to probably be, oh Jesus, my headphone. I'd probably like to be at 6, because I'd like to be on the defense and like shoring up that line and stuff like that. And then, can you hear me still? It seems like it's cut out.
Sweet as, can you hear me?
And then, I can hear you. And then so like Aussie teams more like 8, because then I'm getting to run at them and stuff and getting to do skills, and then New Zealand teams, it's pretty much 6 or 7. I enjoy that as well. So,
let's go. Yeah, there you go, fun. There you go. Mean brother.
But because of the 8, I suppose when you're versing a South African team, or you're just going to be running against brick walls.
Yeah. Get slammed all day.
So I'd rather go the other way.
There's some beasts there, but there's South African fellas here. Somebody. I mean, I know we got plenty of big pollies, but there's like a different big those fellas here.
So just you go there and they're just big men. Like it's not like the what they eat, just the climate, the environment that they're brought up in. It's just a big men, like big hands, big shoulders, big necks, and you're just like, holy shit! Like I'm a big guy, but
yeah, obviously.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, big boys.
And then the accent to go with it.
It's fun. But I really enjoyed playing over in Africa or playing against South African teams. Are probably my favorite, like especially in Super Rugby as well.
Yeah, that's the cool thing, eh? That's the like sad thing about today's Super Rugby. Like people, like a lot of these young players won't get to experience it. Oh, your thing cut out? All good, brother. We can switch. I think the bro just had a little technical difficulty. Finally, he's just switching it up. I think maybe turning the Bluetooth. I can't hear you because you're on mute. I think your mic's on mute. Or you got some more. Yeah, your mic's muted, brother.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go, brother. Sweet as. We just
from here.
we're just going Samsung now, eh? Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sweet as. That's the sad thing about today's Super Rugby too, is that like people won't get the experience. Like that's pretty cool, man. To when you think about it, like for 20 odd years, people were able to go to South Africa and as well as Australia.
Yeah, and I think that was probably that what made it so global, or the feeling of it being so global.
Yeah,
and like the I suppose you get to go see other parts of the world. Obviously, Aussie's great.
Yeah,
but a lot of people would travel to Aussie anyway. From New Zealand. Yeah, but Africa, you don't really you wouldn't think of that as a destination to go to. So obviously Johannesburg, Bloemfontein, going to Durban, which is beautiful, and then Cape Town's probably one of the nicest places in the world with tabletop mountains and stuff like that. So you get the chance to go to all those places for free, get to stay in real nice places and play rugby too. So yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Have you got a story from those ways, from South Africa, a trip to South Africa? Any a good story or a bit of maybe an experience you can share?
I've got heaps, mate. What a PG or not?
We ain't PG around here. I'll tell you that. So
No,
whatever you feel like.
No, I've had some good ones, bro. Like
well, for example, I'll give you one. Orinia, he shared one about bloody people getting stabbed down, like the Wallabies or whatever, getting stabbed and shit. And then Nick and the bros nearly get into hiding. So whatever.
Yeah, no, we've had a couple of those. Like we're in Cape Town, and a couple of the boys decided that they'd go by themselves without the security guys. And
so you have security every time you go.
Pretty much, like unless you're just going down the road, but. They were going to get some money out, and so they went to go get some money out, and one of the guys just went in, put his card in, and then a guy stepped up behind him and just told him, like, he had a knife, and told him, get the money out now. And he's just like, what are you talking about? Like, he didn't realize, and then he's just thinking that it was New Zealand and no one's got anything on them, no one's going to stab you or shoot you just for like $100 or whatever, and forced him to withdraw money and just walked out. And he's just like standing there going. And then so the next week we were in Pretoria, and our security guard decided, his name was Cuban, decided he would play a trick back on the guy. And so he waited for him to go get some more money out, and he got his gun out and put like a balaclava on and creeped out behind him, put the gun to the back of his back, and just like, give me all your money now, bro. And he's like turned around, he's just like, and we're all in the van, but he couldn't see us. We're all in the van, like, passing us out, like taking photos, and he's like this, and then he pulls down his mask. He's like, hurry up, get in the van, man. He's like, I was like, oh no. And it was just stuff like that. I suppose when you're on tour, it's just making fun, just making fun.
You got to, brother. Try have some laughs, man.
And just silly stories like that, like near misses and what ifs, and just things that you laugh about now, but then you think back and you're like, oh shit, that could have been really bad, or that could have gone really bad.
Did you get on it much over there? Oh no.
Hey,
did you get on much over there? Get on a pussy
over there? Yeah. So it was cheap. So like beers over there would be like $1 New Zealand. So you could.
That's a problem.
You could go over there and get 10 Heinekens for $12, $13 New Zealand. And that was 2015, 2016 when you could do that. So when we lost the semi-final versus the Lions over in Joburg, we had to stay for 2 extra days. Yeah, so we had to stay there for 2 extra days. So it was just just at the hotel pretty much. After the first night, we just stayed at the hotel and we rung up a huge bill, what we thought would be a huge bill, and it cost me like $200 in my room. Yeah, and that was like everything. You could just like food, drinks, everything, and it was overall you could just
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Crazy, man.
It's different.
Cool.
Yeah, and then obviously the guys over there, it's a little bit of a culture shock. Like there'd be like 20, 30 guys just standing outside like brushing leaves, but then you have 4 or 5 guys just standing there doing nothing, but they're getting paid like $1 a day or $2 a day or whatever like that. And it's just, I think they're just getting employed to keep them off the streets, which is pretty sad. And yeah, it's just a bit of a thankful moment when you get back home. Pretty much, it's like awesome place to go, but also it's it's an eye opener for some of the lads. They haven't been around that before, so yeah.
100%. And like obviously we have our own problems at home, and I'm an Aussie, but yeah, like and they're all relative to each situation. But
yeah,
obviously seeing the kind of stuff you see over there be definitely eye-opening, I can imagine, brother.
Yeah, well, compared to, I suppose, when you compare it to apartheid, we're all right. Like it's pretty hard.
Yeah, we're all right, because that wasn't that long ago either. That wasn't that long ago either. It was in our fucking lifetime. Yeah, that's crazy. Like in our life, you had to bloody show a pass, go to a Don pass, just to show that if you were black or you were whatever. Like
you're colored or black or you're white, and you couldn't marry, couldn't have kids. If you're black and white, you couldn't have a kid.
Yeah, and if you did, you had to walk on the other side of the street, like Trevor Noah talks about his mum and dad. Walk on other sides of the street and never like communicate in public, for fear of
retribution and what would happen. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, 100%, brother. Speaking of so you go down to the Stags. How long you get a crack straight away? What's it? You get the.
So pretty much I played nearly a full season of club. Like I was signed for the Stags, so I knew that I'd hopefully play. I signed a 2-year. Yeah, it's just whether or not I really wanted to start, and because we had the Shield down there at the time, I really wanted to play like Shield rugby and get involved in that. And obviously with those games, because Southland hadn't had the Shield for so long, they were always going to be packed and it was always going to be pumping. So like I knew that if I put in the work and played well in club and trained well, that hopefully I'd get an opportunity. So managed to.
Did you crack it with the Shield? Like while you fellas still had the Shield?
So the good thing with the Shield, you play like the Lahore Cup winners, and you play like the Meads Cup winners. So you play like 2 kind of warm up games. So we had who do we have? I think we had North Otago and then Honganui, I think.
Yeah.
So we had those 2 teams. So I managed to start the first game and then start the next game, and then it kind of carried on because I scored a couple of tries in the first 2 games. So then I suppose they just stuck with that and managed to get some good game time. And then I think our first game I played was versus Otago down home as a Shield defense, like Shield game, which was my first start. Yeah, which was crazy.
How did you go? Did you just keep it too?
So we kept it for, I think we did like 4 or 5 defenses that year, and we lost it to Canterbury, back to Canterbury.
I thought it was Canterbury. That's right, Canterbury.
Yeah, so that's when Sonny Bill was playing for them in NPC. So they came down, and I was actually injured. I injured myself maybe 1 week beforehand. But yeah, just remember them coming down there to hosting team as well. They were just obviously we've done it often the year before, and they were like, nah, we're taking
not again, Sunday. But shout out to you defending it all the way to there, because that's another thing. Everyone else on the, especially in that game in that competition, anybody that has an opportunity, they all want to try and win the log of wood. So keep it too.
So we managed to keep it like good defenses, and it was pretty awesome. I think it was a pretty awesome introduction to professional rugby down in Southland at that time, because it was play really hard, train really hard, but then on the weekend, like have a great time as well, like with a great bunch of guys, and their families and stuff. So it was just a pretty cool time to be down there in Invercargill with a lot of like excitement with just the team and the city and stuff. We were really behind it, and lucky to be a part of that and to keep it going for a long time. And then I kind of stayed around until started to wear off after a few years after that. But it was a good time to be down at the Stags.
Yeah, no, exactly, brother. So how long to the transition to get into the Highlanders, brother? How long does that take you to progress?
I was lucky, man. I got signed at the end of that season, pretty much. So, I found out before the end of the season. I found out before my birthday in September. So I think Super Rugby started. ITM Cup started in like June, if I remember, or like July, and then I got a contract pretty much like after 7 games for the Stags, a 2-year contract. So I got the opportunity to go up to Dunedin and start training in end of 2010 preseason to start the 2011. So that was it was an eye opener going into that from Southland, which was real, like quite playing a lot, getting good game time and really enjoying myself. And then going to Dunedin, it was kind of like flipped on its head a little bit.
What, like just way different, like like flipped on its head, like how? Just in the culture, or
no, the culture was there. The culture was like the team and real good bunch of guys. It was more just the coaching and the way that the coaching was. It was just a step up.
Okay,
Obviously, that was Jamie Joe's first year as a head coach. And,
what's he like, brother? What was he like?
I really enjoy him. Like, obviously, my first couple of years, I didn't really like it, but I enjoyed it. Let's say he shaped me into what I became. So I appreciate what he did. Sometimes it didn't come across as very good to me, but I appreciate what happened because obviously it worked, and it worked for our team as well. And some people didn't agree with it, then they left, and probably for the better. And I understand what he was doing now. At the time, sometimes I didn't really understand what he was doing, but it was interesting.
Can you give us an example of something that you didn't really understand, but like now you look back, you're like, okay, or like, even maybe not not long after, maybe you look back and we're like, sweet as, bro, I get it.
I suppose it was so he would like to try and break us mentally and physically, and like doing the down ups. So we'd do the thing called 12 rounds, like where you'd do. So you get on the dead ball line, run to the try line, and down up, that's one. And then you do that 10 times, and then you do 12 sets of those. But we didn't really know that we were doing them. We only thought we were doing a couple of reps, and then we just kept on going and kept on going. And this was at the end of like a big fitness session. So
after.
And halfway through one of them. So we've done it quite a few times. And this was the preseason. There was like halfway through, maybe the 4th or 5th time doing it, so like 4 or 5 days later, they left, all the coaches left, and kind of just left it up to the players to police. And so we were doing it, and like I wasn't very fast at it. I'm quite a big guy, not the fastest off the ground, but I wasn't dead last. I was, but then I was a guy that I thought I was beating would finish before me, you know what I mean? Like he'd either do 8 and then he'd be finished, and then I'd be like, hey, and then that person never played again for the Highlanders because they'd recorded it on the so like you wouldn't care how slow you did it as long as you did it and didn't lie to yourself or didn't lie to the team, you know what I mean? But the very was like 2 guys caught them out and they never played again. And
that's hard to hear now, Bolt. See you later.
Just like little mind games like that. Like we had like a thing called the longest day where we went to Burnham military camp and just got absolutely smashed. And it was just it was cool. Like they were just trying to mold us into a team, bring a culture of a battler team, trying to
fucking winner. Win a chip,
Yeah,
cuz. Yeah, trying to win a
so
chip.
like, well, but like misfits from all the other places because none of us were really from Dunedin. It was,
Actual though, eh? Actual.
it was Ben Smith was the only guy really from Dunedin. The rest of us were imports.
Yeah.
Imports. Even the coach, like, well, Jamie Joe was played for the Highlanders, but we're all imports. Like we all came from different
all came
spots.
from all over Aotearoa.
Hard.
That's
That
cool
was,
though. Then obviously it worked, hey brother.
Yeah, and obviously we went through, like, we were really good for the first 8 or 9 games in the first couple of years I was there, and then we'd just blow out because we never really rotated any of the younger guys or the other guys in because we're just trying. So like I never played. I played 2 games over 2 years. I got injured twice though. I did get injured twice. In the second year I could have played a bit more, but ripped my pec off in Africa and was out for the season. But yeah,
that's a sore one. Or does it take a while? They'll pick.
Yeah, so I came back quickly in that though. I was pretty lucky. I got good physios, good surgery, and I really need to get back because I didn't have a contract. They weren't going to re-sign me. Yeah. So
did you come back too early, cuz, or you reckon? Like,
no, I never did it again. No, I came back for the first game of the Stags, and I got back within 3.5 months from a full tech pair.
Tech pair? Yeah, the tech pair. Yeah, that was a good one, cuz. I like that. That's the tech pair. Too much, cuz. Yeah, the tech pair.
That's going to be
one. Up the tech pair. Hey, bro, I do those ones all the time. Later he's betting all.
Oh man.
All good,
so from the pick tier, came back in 3.5 months. So it's usually about a 4 or 5 month thing. Came back, played all good, and then got re-signed, which was great. And then had a real bad year in 2013. Everyone, the Highlanders did. We had what was 0-9 or 0-10, I think, for the first 10 games, first 9 games.
That's a rough fake, cuz.
It was a bad time to be a Highlanders supporter and a Highlanders player, to be honest.
That's rough, cuz. 100. Holy Rick.
That's when we bought a championship team, but we just didn't turn up, those guys. So we had like who we have Andrew Hoare, Tony Woodcock. We bought in who else we bought in? I suppose Jose Gale was there as well. He was awesome for us though. Tommy Allison was there too. He's a great guy. Those boys. We had a hissing team. Colin Slade.
But All Blacks gig old Thomas. Was it?
Hey?
The All Blacks gig Thomas.
Yeah.
I heard was that all shit too? Oh no, I heard the baby was a bit of a gig in the All Blacks now.
Yes. No, he does. No, he does. Yeah, sorry, you cut out a little bit. Yeah, he does.
How good, fella? That's like how many Maoris have had a like gig in the behind the coaching in there for the All Blacks?
It's pretty awesome. He's done really well. He's been with the I think he's been with the Wellington, and then he came down to the Crusaders and kind of helped them out, and then obviously hopefully he's got that gig with the All Blacks. Is pretty cool, and he's a really nice guy. He knows heaps about rugby too, so it's a pretty cool opportunity for him and for his whānau and for everyone around. Which is pretty cool.
And I think that's cool for like Maoris and Polys in general to see like not only can you be the player and just after maybe you could be the coach. You can't be what you can't see sometimes. So having someone open a door like that is pretty cool.
I suppose hopefully they're breaking the mold a little bit from the old boys club, from the coaches. And
actually, fuck yeah, no fair. Yeah, exactly.
So it'll be awesome to see what that opens the doors for and stuff like that for the future, which is cool.
Yeah, cool. I mean, obviously we want all the best coaches or whatever, but it's just cool. I think as being Maori and being to see someone like us in Indy too, like you see breaking that mold. And obviously shout out to Razor for being that being that guy too to want him with him. Hey.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think he's going to bring a pretty cool culture and buy-in from all the players. And I think you've seen it with the Crusaders, what he did for them and turned that around. And
Yeah, far right. You don't win that many in a row from nothing, eh? Because from
exactly.
you know, might get a few break dancers at the World Cup, or
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good, man. That'd be cool.
Give us a break dance, Razor.
Because it is an Aussie, isn't it? The next
that's
one.
right. Yeah, that's right, brother. Oh, you're gonna make a comeback? No, no.
Nah, I'll come watch. That's
Come on.
no way.
So you fellas go from not being not too good to you start getting a few dubs. What do you think the catalyst was for that? For the whole? Do you think there was?
I think from that 2013, we kind of for the last 5 or 6 games, we kind of trusted a lot of the younger guys. And tried to build that up. So we brought on a lot of the development guys into full training and full games and stuff like that. And then that next year in 2014, we kind of just trusted that, and we got a couple of good players like Malakai Fikito. That was his first year in Super Rugby with us.
And, another import.
Yeah, so we got him from the Blues, who didn't want him, and that's the year that obviously he was playing awesome for us. And then Waisaki Naholo just started hissing for us. Then Patrick Osborne as well, who's the man. He could hold a ball and make it look like a tennis ball, and then you try to hold it like, hey, but his hands were like, my hands are big, and his hands were like this much bigger up the top.
True. Well, shake hands. Yeah.
He was like, hey.
How like was he? Are you the same height, or was he taller than you?
No. I'm 6'4", and he'd be like 6 foot, maybe. He's just got Fijian hands. He's just big Fijian boy, like just winger that could just hold the ball like that, hands. Gliding around, and you're like, what has he been doing with those? Just coconuts, just hidden coconuts the whole time.
Just holding them and throwing them around.
That's crazy.
Shout out to the boys, man.
Yeah, so that's we got some real good guys like that, and just started, I suppose, building that part of the team up, not just having 15 guys play every single game. We kind of got a bit of trust with everyone and had a real good bunch of guys, good depth. And obviously Tony Brown came at the same time in 2014 and kind of was a catalyst for like Lima Soponga just pulling the trigger and just being real, starting to believe in himself, and then the team believing in each other, and just get like, instead of being real wary or gun shy, they just didn't give a fuck. They just kind of
let's go.
Like it was more why not do it in a game instead of I should just do this. It was just more, here's the game plan, but if you see an opportunity, just pull the trigger and give it a go. And what's the worst that can happen? Maybe they score, but who cares? It could be another points for us. So it was, that was a catalyst. And then obviously we just built on that. And then by the end of 2014, we made our first quarters for a long time, and we lost to the Sharks, I think, over there. But we'd beaten the Sharks during the season for the first time ever in Durban.
True.
Right. And then we lost them over there, but they had a hissing team too. And I think we're quietly confident, but coming from that 2014 into that 2015 preseason, I think we kind of knew that we had a pretty good team. And then I suppose it was just built from there.
You mean, but what's it like to obviously, actually, just speaking on Tony Brown and having the confidence, giving the confidence to the players there, is that obviously as a player, I'm just couch potato, because as a player being in having the confidence of the coaches to be like, give it a crack, is that like, is obviously key to a lot of these, like especially players like Lima who are off the cuff and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think as long as you got the base of knowing your role and knowing your game plan, and then whatever flair or whatever skill that you want to bring to it, obviously you can bring your own personal flair or personal skill, gives you the opportunity to be an individual in a team though, which is great. And I think a lot of the boys bought into that, because then they could do what they were great at. So we had, like, obviously Patrick was great at offloading. Patrick Osborne was awesome at offloading. Malakai was pretty much just giving the ball and
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Run you over,
Waisaki
step
was,
you, burn you,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Waisaki was like awesome under the high ball, and obviously still could bowl over people as well. And then
And how
we had
fast,
yeah.
fast.
And then we had Aaron Smith and Bender that would just play in the middle of the field together, and just like you just let them do whatever they wanted to do, flick passes out the back or do little loop arounds, and we just would just be in the middle doing the roles, but knowing that it's an open door policy for other stuff, and we knew what they would be doing and kind of knew which lines to run, and got pretty good at like learning where guys would step and which way you would want to run and stuff like that. And then we kind of just
like
knew
tendencies in that.
Yeah, and we just kind of knew that Azza likes to have a dart at the end of the ruck or like in the middle of the ruck and stuff. So if he does that, then you just run a gassing line straight off his ass, and then you're probably going to get a pop, and you're probably going to make a blind break, and then that's all on after that. So yeah, I think it was just that confidence to go and play. I think maybe it was missing in 2013, and then it came back with a vengeance in 2014, 2015. And even up to 2016. So, yeah.
Definitely. You spoke on Bender a little bit. Like, when we spoke about the physical attributes of, say, like Paddy Osborne and stuff like that. Like, Bender, like, just from the eye test, the bro don't look like the most athletic, but what a weapon there.
No, but he is, though. He's just like one of those guys that you don't realize, but then you just see him when he's in the gym. He's strong. He's cut. He's like like built. So he's just one of those guys that you just very unassuming guy, very humble,
like
guy,
accountant.
You
know how they say about Cameron Smith, like accountant or something. Yeah. Far out. Just a weapon there.
But just like probably the fittest guy, biggest ticker, could hit as well. Could hit and drill people, and then probably the best person I've ever seen under the high ball, and the ability to every single time he got the ball, he would make the first two people miss every time. Like he'd never get tackled behind the game line, and if he did, it wasn't his fault. It was because somebody set him up. Usually my bad passes.
Those tick pair passes there. Tick pair.
That's it. That's it, bro. No, he was an amazing player, bro. And obviously, he was a great guy too. Which, you just can't really have a bad story about Bender, which sucks. So I wish I had some dirt on him. But I don't.
One of those guys are just good in every way. Too much, brother.
Yeah, and his family's awesome too, and his wife and kids and stuff. So, I don't know.
Bender. No, I mean by that. But what's it like? Tell us about. Do you remember much about the final? Because I know when I talk to some people and they talk about their grand finals, and sometimes to a lot of them it's a blur. Do you remember much about it?
Yeah, I remember all of it. Yeah. So up at that whole week, I was pretty excited because that was my 50th game for the Highlanders. So it was my 50th game. So I got to run out by myself at the Cake Tin. So so when you get like a 50 game or 100 game, you run out by yourself with the ball. Yeah. Maybe like a couple of seconds before the boys, but they were playing up, and they did it on purpose. They let me run out for like 15, 20 seconds by myself. So I'm like running. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Like I was going off, and then I turned and I'm like, what the hell? We're in at the front in the tunnel. I was like, tunnel. You wankers. And then, I remember it was pretty cool. It was like I remember pretty much every single facet of the game, like the first kickoff.
Scored a try in that game too, eh, Kazi?
Yeah, scored a try. Set up a try.
Oh. Don't forget that.
Probably should have scored that one. To be honest, I shouldn't have given it to Waisaki because I actually made it harder for him to score than if I just dove on the left. Because I was already pretty much run over Dane Coles. He'll probably try and say that I didn't run him over, but
bumped off Colesy, cuss.
And then it was just it was that last 10 minutes waiting on that, because I came off at the 70th minute, I think, or something around there, and just watching it. it was hard. It was hard to watch. I'd rather be out there and playing than watching it from the sideline after you get subbed off. But the boys got it done, which was awesome. Yeah. A big old party.
Yeah. What's the feeling like though, going from fucking losing nearly 10 games in a row or whatever a couple of years back, and just missing out on getting to the semi, just missing out in South Africa the year before, to be there and lift the bloody trophy, cause with like all the misfits from all over the shop that people didn't want. What's that feeling?
I think like? It was a pretty good feeling, because obviously we were write-offs at the start of the year, and then even up into the final, we were write-offs. Like even at the semi-final, we got written off versus the Waratahs, because the Waratahs won it the year before, and they were already. I remember we were in Sydney, and they had already, someone put up a post. He was the sixth, the long head.
Yeah. Leo,
put up a post and saying, like, on Monday morning, saying, "Can't wait for the next 2 weeks." And it was like, "Hey,
wow, hey, what the? Oh, that's motivation of doom, man."
And that was the funniest thing, because Jamie Joe just comes into the room and just puts up all these things, and it says like the Waratahs forward pack versus the Highlanders forward pack. There's 750 tests of the Aussie tests, like Wallabies tests, versus like 12 All Blacks tests. Like, and then he just goes and grabs it into a ball, and he's like, "I'd pick you any fucking time," and just throws it at the window, and then walks out. Where he's like,
"Oh,
yeah." And then we were even up in the Wellington the day before, like the game. I remember talking to, I think it was my parents. I was talking to my parents, and they're like, "Oh, it's awesome that you guys got to the final, and whatever happens it's great." And I was just like, "Hey, like,
we're winning, baby. We're coming to take it out."
And then and we'd heard rumors. Maybe we just made this up ourselves, but it worked. We heard rumors that the Canes had already organised like a parade for the Sunday. So we just had that. We had a wee little group meeting, and we're just like, "These guys are fucking trying to organise a parade. They haven't even played us yet. There's no pressure on us. We're the underdogs. There's no pressure on us." And then we just, it was it was a pretty cool feeling. It was, my son had just been born, so Huxley had just been born maybe 6 weeks before. He was up at the game. My wife was there, friends, family, and then obviously, it was an awesome time. It was pretty hard. Yeah, pretty hard to describe the feeling, but it was just like obviously a relief feeling, because it was so long that from the preseason all the way up into the actual final, we'd played like 25 games in 19 games of the season. So it was.
So there's some NRL numbers because of games.
So it was pretty, because we had to play every single game, because we weren't up the top like the Hurricanes and the other teams. We had to play the quarterfinal, semi-final, final, and stuff like that. Whereas they got a week off.
Can I just say too, cuz I'm a Chiefs fan, but like part of my heart goes with the Highlanders, because a lot of my family, they come from Southland, and like a lot of them go from, they live in Southland, we're not from down there, but I lived down there as a kid too, and so there's a lot of aroha for the Highlanders as well. But for me, the biggest gratitude I have for that is that I got a lot of uncles that love the Hurricanes and they rub it. But to know like that the Highlanders got the dub. My old man was at all my uncles' house, at my uncle's pad, like when they were watching the game too, brother. And my old man's Highlanders fan hard. So like, like to hear all that, brother, like to know that you brothers got the dub against them, but it was so satisfying, because my uncles were crying and stuff, brother. I love it.
I still get people angry as like Hurricanes supporters and stuff, angry as like, "Oh, that fucking bullshit that game was bullshit." Can't do much about it.
The record speaks better. We won. That's it.
It's in the books.
It's in the books, brother. It's in the books. You end up playing for the old for the team that everyone wants to play for as a little kid, brother, as well.
So
what's
that
that like?
So that was the next year, actually, in 2016. So what was when did I learn about that? I think we played the Hurricanes just in 2016. I think we got pumped by the Hurricanes, actually. That's when the Hurricanes were hissing.
Because they won that year too, eh?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's true.
But at least he's got the dub anyway, the year before, cuz.
Yeah, that's it. They spoiled their party, eh?
That's it, brother. Try to have a party before, even if you made it up, brother. Whatever motivation you need, just like Michael Jordan in The Last Dance. Eh? Remember I used to make up stories about people just to
try and get the edge.
Yeah.
That was we found out. I think it was my son's first birthday. Or it might have been my second son's. What's it called when you have like a baby shower? It might have been a baby shower.
Yeah.
But
you
I got
pumped them out quick, because boom, boom.
Yeah, 15 months in between. Yeah. For the boys, and then Tui was a couple of years later, which was good. It was good. That was good. But the first two, no, not so quick. Not so quick.
Oh, so you got three, cuz you got three?
Yeah, 2 boys and wee girl.
Yeah, I got 2 boys and a girl. Fuck, 3. I think 3 is hectic. Yeah, oh yeah. Then 2 was cruisier.
Yeah.
But good to have the girl. Yeah, wait, because they got mate there. They got a mate, and there's always someone missing out there.
Yeah, and then someone has to look after 2 now, and then one's off by himself, and they're all like that.
Yeah, it's like having a freezer meal. Someone's always missing out. We we don't do those anyway.
Do you have 3 as well?
Yeah, but 3. I got 2 boys, 2 girls. Oh, 1 girl, sorry, same as you, cuz.
Nice.
And the girl's the boss, brother. The girl for me though is the middle one. Man, she's the boss.
Yeah.
G. Yeah, she got all the ideas in the world.
The girl's the boss in all the families with the
yeah, to be honest. Because she just tells her brothers what up and everything. So yeah, I think they just roll their eyes, brother. They're pretty cruisy, eh? So
Dang, whatever. But that was so I suppose I found out there, and I took the phone call, and then I was just like I didn't know who to talk to. I was like, what do I say? And then obviously I told my wife, and then rang my parents, and then it was a bit of a blur, and then flew up to Auckland for the team naming, and then I was up in Auckland, and it was for the Wales test, so there was 3 tests, and was into it. Playing with guys that I'd watched, like Jerome Kaino and all those boys, and all those fellas that I'd watched, and then just obviously getting to play with them and getting to train with them, and Karen Reid and all those guys. So it was pretty awesome out of it, but it was a cool experience for the short amount of time that I was there. I was obviously there for the whole year. I was there for the June Test Series, and then the Tri-Nations. No, I think it was the Quad Nations by then. And then I was there for the end of year tour. And then the next year was the British and Irish Lions, which I missed out on. But it is what it is.
What's it like being an All Blacks camp and all that, cuz? What's all that stuff like?
Yeah, it was cool. Like they give you all the tools to like succeed and work on your game and stuff like that. Like it's anything that you could wish for, like recovery wise or nutrition wise or anything like that. Is there, and there's no real excuses for you not to look after yourself and your body, and you get to stay at the best places, you get the best coaches obviously, and opportunity to get access to the best things. So they've got it's a big beast, man. There's so much behind it and so much money in it, and I can see why, because obviously it's a global brand, and everyone knows it and wants to be in it, and it's a pretty cool. It was a pretty cool opportunity, but to be fair, for me personally, I didn't have the greatest time. I wasn't that happy in that environment.
Why is that, brother? Can you speak on that? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, it was just more. I felt like I couldn't be myself and be who I was with the Highlanders. Like myself, I was a joker, and I enjoyed having a laugh and stuff. But I always would do what I needed to do game time, and even in practice and stuff, I'd do what I needed to do and switch on when I needed to switch on. Whereas I felt like in that environment, a lot of people would be judging you if you weren't just straight up and down, like 6 and 12. I felt like it was just like that Canterbury Crusaders kind of mantra of, if you don't fit in, you get kicked out. And obviously, I don't know if that came into it, but I did get told a couple of times like this is probably not by the All Blacks coaches, but by my coaches, which they've never said it before. They're like, oh, you need to kind of button that down or start changing that. And I was like, no, I'm not changing who I am. I've been like playing like this for. This is what got me into the All Blacks. Like, why would I change
Yeah. What are you trying to change?
I wouldn't be happy. Yeah, I wouldn't be happy changing it. So I didn't. I decided to stay who I was, and maybe it would have made a difference. Maybe it didn't. And to be honest, I didn't really care. And
I wondered too, because I wondered that. Like what? Like and a lot of us like fuck. Like the boy still like gun. Why is he not getting a crack? That makes sense.
I suppose there were some great players coming up too, though. Like there's and obviously that next year there's a little bit of writing on the wall with some other boys that might have skipped ahead of me in the Davies kind of pecking order, which is okay. It happens. But with the Highlanders, I kind of felt like that was where I could be real comfortable, and I felt like I could play really well for them, and I did. And I suppose it's just up to whoever's picking. It's one man's opinion at the end of the day, and
that's exactly right, brother.
When I was a kid, if you don't get picked in this team, it's not maybe because of you, and if it is because of you, it's still one man's opinion. And if you know that you've trained hard and you've got good skill and you've done the most that you can do, then you fall short. Yeah.
Hey, but you got to do it though, because a lot of people that didn't get to do it.
Yeah, exactly. There's only like 1,200 people that have ever got to do it, so it's it's pretty it's a cool thing to look back on. And I suppose now that I'm back in New Zealand,
most winningest team of all time because of any sport. So even though their record took a little bit of a hit the last couple of years, but
couple of years, but they got back into the final again. So
that's right, brother. 1 point there, cause that's dodgy. But
tough watch.
Tough watch, brother. But at the same time, like I said, you got to do it because only what you say 1,200 people got to do it. So
now it was a pretty cool experience. But that next year, obviously, I was over it by the end of 2017 and was looking for another opportunity. I wanted to get a couple of things ticked off for myself personally with goals and stuff. I wanted to make 100 games. Super Rugby games for the Highlanders, which I managed to tick off, and then I wanted to leave and go overseas, which I managed to tick off and got to
so Japan first. What was that experience like in a nutshell for you? Japan, like
it was cool. Like the first year was awesome, and then COVID hit, and then it kind of turned really, really weird. You know how the world kind of just went crazy, and then the rules were all the first year was awesome, really enjoyed it. The second year still playing and good, and then it kind of turned to weirdness, and that last year was just a bit of a write-off. Everyone was obviously worried about what was happening with the COVID and didn't know what that meant for everyone else, and just some of the things that happened just in Japan and around the world was kind of crazy, and that just I suppose it brought out some bad decisions from clubs and from players. And I suppose it was just I really wanted to get home because I hadn't been home for 10 months, and my daughter had been born just before I left, and I didn't get to see her. She was 11 months old. So
wow, that's weird. Like lucky that we got the technology we got now, cuz, but still that ain't the same, bro.
No, it was it was a tough, mentally was probably the hardest point of my rugby career was that last year in Japan in 2020, I think 2020 or 2021. Just by myself. All I could do was train in the morning and night, and then at night after the training, I'd just be sitting at home.
Did they cut your fellows money too, or
no? Was awesome. Like, to be honest, the Japanese, if they say you're going to get paid that, you'll get paid that no matter what happens. They're awesome like that. Record were really great with that sort of thing, and they really looked after us, like financially wise. They didn't cut or never even talked about cutting out pay, which is great.
But they're all about honor and that those followers.
Exactly. And they obviously they honoured like the contract, and obviously they would have taken a bit of a hit, but they just kept on and treated us really well. Some other things they probably didn't do that well, like some of the COVID kind of rules were just crazy. Like we could get on a train, like a packed out train, as long as we had a mask and we were with the team, then we'd never get COVID. You know what I mean? Like that was, so you could never get COVID from doing that, or you could never get COVID from wearing a mask.
But you could still smell someone's fart when you wore the mask.
Well, like going to the Combini, which is like the 7-Eleven, packed as at night, you'd never get COVID. But the only way you'd get COVID is if you went out for a beer. That's the only way. It was just that thinking. Like, bro, I've just literally been playing rugby with 30
smushing myself against other people.
And then 10 of those guys work in offices in Tokyo with 5,000 other people. But you're saying that because I had a beer, that's the only reason why I got COVID. And it was just, it was laughable. If it wasn't so frustrating. So,
there's a bit of that around there, cuz there's a bit of that around. Holy cuz some of those ones crack me up too. Hey, you gotta walk around. Some people you weren't even allowed, like even in Aussie. Some of my boys were in Melbourne and they were the most lockdown city. Like they were getting police coming up giving their bloody coffee cup a tap just to see if there was actually coffee in it. Like he's outside because at the park. Yeah, you know, those kinds of ones. Wow.
And it's just crazy, like you'd have people, Japanese people, lovely people, but they don't really like foreigners that much, especially if you got these all over your arms and and like obviously you're going out to eat or to go get a drink or something like that, and they'll just like just go. So especially during COVID, they'll just be like, nah, get out of here. And you can't look at that. And like you stand in the train and everyone will just go like, just like looking away, and it's just it's quite funny. It was interesting.
You should have said, kia ora. You should have said, kia ora, Elliot Dixon from Wuhan. Oh, did it? Yeah.
Because I was by myself and just studying the whole time. So, yeah.
Is it still good, cuz?
Nah, not terrible now. I've forgotten that, to be fair. But it was,
but then
it was good the Maori is the same vowels as Japanese. So I, or u is the same vowels. So I seem to pick it up quite well. And it was a good language. It was quite a fun language too.
Yeah, I mean, but obviously because you foreigner, few tattoos, probably thought, oh, the bro's from Wuhan, they bought COVID here. That's where they come from, no, apparently.
Come from the foreigners.
Yeah, come from the foreigners there, but it's their cousins over the water. Obviously that experience doesn't not the best, but you got a done, cousin, get home to the whānau, and there's an offer on the table when you get home, or before you
no, so I was looking maybe to go back to Southland just to just have a wee run around. I wasn't really wanting to go to Japan. Obviously with the rules were pretty crazy. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't really want to be away from the family because they weren't really letting in families, just the players or people with visas. So came back home, moved into our house, which I'd never seen, out in Ahoka, which is by Kaipoi, Rangiora and stuff around there in Christchurch. So moved out, like I bought it, then left for Japan, and then obviously my wife and the kids moved in, and then I got to see it finally after I saw my daughter and the boys for the first time for a while. And then was in it only for like 2 months, and then left to south of France. Got a gig over there for a team, Biarritz Olympic, which is traditionally been really strong in like the early 2000s. They won it a couple of times, won the top 14.
Big league. Oh yeah,
they won the top 14, and they won like the Heineken Cup back in the day. I think it was the Heineken Cup was.
Oh yeah,
it was. League, whatever it is.
Back in the days.
Yeah, and then they've just gone back up to top 14 again the year that I went, and so they kind of did a big recruitment drive with like Tavita Kurandrani and Henry Spate and all those kind of boys, and got a really good team. And then went over there, which was pretty cool opportunity to live in France with the family and have a new fresh start, I suppose.
What's it like playing in a team with like players that that you've played against, especially from other countries, like Wallabies? You talked about Dave Henry Spate and Ned, and I'm sure you probably play with maybe some South Africans or other nations. Is it pretty easy? Obviously, the boys are polys too. So.
Yeah, I suppose if you're a professional rugby player, you get pretty good at being in a team environment and knowing what's the go. You wouldn't probably be a long-term rugby player or like a vet that keeps getting picked and stuff if you're not a good guy, or you don't know how to be around other people, or you're not a nice fellow, or you just don't enjoy people's company. Like if you're a bit of an awkward kind of guy, you probably, unless you're awesome, unless you're
you're like a gun that's awkward.
Then you can do that, and then you can. But if you're I suppose better people make better rugby players. So a lot of that kind of that korero, I suppose, works, and a lot of those kind of guys, you figure out pretty quickly what you can and can't do in a team environment, and it's pretty easy, to be honest. A lot of the boys have got the same interests, they've got the same kind of experiences. They're away from their family as well, probably. They're trying to learn the language too, and you speak English as well, so it's pretty easy to get on board with those kind of guys, and then try and embrace the Frenchies as well, which is it's easier said than done sometimes, but they're a real good bunch of people and love a wine, love a ciggy, and just a crazy different sense of humor too, but really enjoyed it.
Yeah, cool. Obviously, how many years you do? 1, 2?
2 years over there, and then we came back in September last year, 2023, and then called it quits pretty much before that. Yeah.
What any injuries, or what was the reason?
Yeah, heaps of injuries, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mentally, I was sweet, I love it. If I could just get to the, if you could just tell me to show up Saturday. I'd play for 10 more years, I was just getting mentally fatigued and physically drained. I'd redone my back, which I'd already got a surgery on, lower back, a couple of discs, and then I redid it again, and the same discs, and I knew that I probably need a fusion. So if I got a fusion, then that's career ending anyway. So it was just mentally, I was cooked. I'd been doing it since I was 18, professionally since I was 19. So it was a good 14, 15 years of doing the same thing every day. I knew that I gave it my all, and really wanted to still be physically fit and able to be active with my family, young family, and not just be pushing it for another couple of years just to flog my body more, and
just for $1.
Money's money, bro, but health's a lot more important, and whānau's a lot more important than chasing the money.
Total cool, my brother. So that's it, eh? All done, eh? No more. Or you gonna play some? You might play some club rugby later on, or nah? You good?
I can't say anything. That if Mrs. heard me saying that I was going to play club rugby, go back and play actual rugby, get paid for it.
Yeah. What are you up to now? Can you see it?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. What'd you say? You might play what?
Oh no, I might help out coaching the young ones, but I don't think I'll ever play again. I might show up to a over 35 thing and just try and run at a few people and play first five or something, second five.
Or go for one of those classic All Black things, maybe.
Yeah. Just the trips to Bermuda or something like that, and get on the bus.
Get lost in the triangle.
It'd be good.
Yeah. So, what are you up to now? Can you share anything about that or not?
Yeah, sweet. So I finished. Obviously, I came back and started working in October for recruitment. So I'm doing civil recruitment for chippies and machine operators and stuff like that in Christchurch. But I take care of pretty much Hawke's Bay down. So I do pretty much the whole of New Zealand. So for the company Turbo Staff, which is actually started by my brother 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Not Ash, guys, by the way.
No, not the other, Johnny.
Not his other brother.
No, it's his brother from another mother, yeah.
Oh, cool, brother. That's mean that you had that opportunity too, and shout out to come into, because what's that like, going from professional rugby player for for years and years to she's all done, and now you got to work, or like it's still work but different.
Yeah, I suppose it's just not physically the same. Obviously, you're not getting that release physically and mentally. It's probably a bit more daunting, like sitting at a desk, making calls. Like I enjoy getting out of the office and meeting people and going on site and seeing the boys and stuff like that. But I suppose it's just me getting used to a different normal. I thought that I'd struggle a lot more than I actually have, which is a good sign, I suppose. I went into it pretty open-minded, knowing that a lot of people do struggle after that transition, but I kind of had a long time to think about it. I got injured in like March in 2023 and didn't have surgery for another month, and then I didn't get back home until September, so Octoberish. So I kind of had that time to realize that this was it. That was it, and had time to like obviously marry up my feelings and stuff about what I wanted to do and what was going to happen, and kind of had that opportunity to go work straight away, which was much needed and quite a cool opportunity for me. And obviously I didn't go into it thinking that I'm going to love it straight away. I went into it thinking that I'd give it a good couple of years or a year and a half and just try and crack at it and have a good crack at it and put my hard work into it. Like I wouldn't quit on things like that, and obviously try my best. And if I don't like it, then I can say that I tried my best and try something different.
Yeah, no, beautiful, brother. Before we get out of there, I got a couple of little quick ones. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay. Who's the top 5 players you've played with? Just relative to now. Like it could be different. Tomorrow you could wake up and think, I forgot about the bro. Just off the top of the head.
Oh, geez, that's hard, man. Okay. I'm gonna have to. Okay. I have to go for my boys. I suppose Ben Smith, Aaron Smith, Lima Sopoanga. I'll say Brendan Edmonds. You probably won't know him, but he was hissing, and Josh Honeck as well. Josh Honeck. So those two boys were the props for the Highlanders back in the day, and they were hissing. They would just be on the short side with me, and I'd just send all the boys back in, and they'd just clean them up. Big hitters.
Yeah, let's go. All right, then. Well, you got. Let's go. Top 5 you played against then.
Played against. Oh, that's tough. Okay, I'd say Dwayne Vermeulen.
The big boy, number 8.
Yeah. I'd say Israel Folau.
Yeah, this guy.
Israel Folau. I'd say Adi.
You're going to hell for that, Elliot. Not to take it.
I'm just saying he's a good player. I didn't say I agree with him.
No. Right, fuck, we can separate that. Jesus, the player. Yeah. But you're going to hell.
Doesn't mean you have to be a good human being if you're a good rugby player.
Yeah. Carry. Okay.
Adi Xavier probably.
Weapon, eh?
Jerome Kaino, and who do I hate playing against? Oh, Rene Ranger. I hate playing against him. Yeah.
Why?
Oh, he's just like, so what happened one year, I somehow got put onto the backs as a wing reserve because Buxton Popoli got knocked out and someone else got injured. Yes. And I was like, we had a 6-2 split, so there was no other backs, and they put me in. And then I remember it was versus the Blues up in Auckland, and I was on the wing, and they decided to put me on the open side wing instead of on the blind side, or instead of putting me in the first defender, they put me all the way out in the width. And I was like, well, that's the stupidest idea. At least put me right beside the scrum, so then I don't get actually smoked. And so they put me up there, and so they got the ball, as you would, straight to Rene Ranger, and it was me versus him. And I was like, okay, sweet. I'll give him like I'll give him like 2 meters of the sideline, so he won't take that. He'll come back inside, and it's sweet. I can just dive and make a tackle. So he stepped to go back inside. I was like, I've got him. And he went back outside, and I was like, okay, sweet. I'm going to smack him into the touch, hit him, and then just went to the side. And scored a try. I was like, oh, no. And I just got up, and I was like, what am I doing on the wing? What am I doing? And then in the review, they're like, oh, we can't really blame you for that. We shouldn't have put you there and stuff like that.
Yeah, we should have put you by the scrum.
But they still showed it over and over and over again. So it was more just, I didn't really tackle him much, to be honest. I didn't have much to do with him, but it was just
that moment, eh?
Yeah, that moment, just making me look like an absolute clown.
Who was the biggest pest across your whole career, like in all your teams?
Oh, jeez. On my own team, I'd probably say Alex Ainley, who was a Tasman boy and the Highlander boy. And on another team, I'd probably say, Kurt Baker. He was on my team and on other teams, but Kurt Baker was terrible.
Oh, true. Like, what do you mean? Like, give us one story.
Just a dickhead. Just a dickhead, bro. He was just lippy and just be into me. Like, what the hell are you doing? But then he was my teammate too, and I live with him too, and he's an awesome guy. But on the field,
but on the field,
yeah.
Yes, go, brother. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what do you choose?
Oh, geez, that's a hard one. I'd probably do a rolled pork roast. So like a pork roast, but when it's rolled up, and then I put it into apple juice to boil it slowly in apple juice, and I chuck it into the pan and cook it, and then right at the end I pour hot water over it to get crackling, and then chuck it back in. But at the same time, there's apple juice all over it so that it doesn't get too dry. And
okay,
crackling.
Sounds the thing, cuz. I like that.
I'm hungry now.
If you could have one superpower, what do you choose and why?
Superpower, what do I choose and why? I'd probably say, geez, that's tough. Ability, no.
Don't just be the generic, I'll just fly. Just give us something good. Give something good, cuz.
I'd like to be able to learn anything straight away.
Oh,
like
that's a good one, eh?
To learn anything straight away.
Like the Matrix there, just fucking
like if I read a book, I'd understand it straight away. Or if I watch something, I'd learn it straight away. Or like if I heard someone speak, I could learn that language straight away. Or if I watched someone fight, I could learn it, Or if somebody came and like talked to me about economics and a job or something like that, and then I could just be like, I got it. I know what I'm doing. Like that would be awesome. And that would be why.
What would you call that? If someone said, "What's the name of that power?" The power of understanding?
Yeah, maybe. Or would it be like just kind of like how vision and stuff like that can just learn languages straight away, like the
like vision. Like
vision, like just smart as, or like using that stone. It'd just be kind of like that, or be like a, how Iron Man's suit kind of can tell him everything. It'd be kind of like that. Having, I think.
Or like you remember like the Matrix and Neo and how they just fucking
plug them in, let them go.
Plug them in and plug in whatever you want to know. Boom. Yeah. That's cool. I like that, brother. That's pretty. That's our own superpower. I like that one.
Just something different.
Yeah. Well, if you crack it, brother, then teach me how to speak Russian, G, because that's any language. If there was a kid out there, or not necessarily a kid, I should say, like your age, 19, about to crack it, and he's looking for a piece of advice from a former All Black, former Highlander, former Maori All Black, which we didn't get into, but we know proud Maori. What would you say, brother? He's one piece of advice from the great Elliot Dixon, not Ash Dixon's brother.
No relation.
No relation. The tech pair.
One piece of advice for a younger self, or just anyone that's in
or even someone that's not pulled the trigger and they older, brother, and they just want to do some shit. You know what I mean?
I think I suppose it's to be true to yourself and not I suppose that's just a small part of it, but being true to yourself, I think, means being honest with yourself about how hard you've worked. Have you ticked all the boxes that you need to tick? Have you done all the extras that you need to do? Have you asked the hard questions to yourself and to others, like to coaches? And have you watched game tape? Have you done extras at the end of training? Have you done extras when you want to go party and when you're like 18 years old? Or have you gone to the gym? Or have you stayed at home and eaten what you're meant to? Have you taken your protein and stuff when you really need to? Have you got, after a game, have you got on the piss, or have you got some good food in? And obviously all these things for me, I felt like if you do them continuously most of the time and try and make a habit out of it, it gets easier and easier. And then also obviously being true to yourself means like don't change if you know what you're doing works for you and you're trying your best, and someone asks you to do something way different that goes against what your values and doesn't seem right to you, then think about it and talk to them and ask them why and why they're trying to say that, and I suppose just believe in what you think is right, and obviously try and stay true to that, and obviously work hard, and you'll see things hopefully develop for you. And if not, then don't worry about it. It takes time. It doesn't happen straight away. It can take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years until you make the pinnacle, or maybe you never do. But as long as you're enjoying what you're doing and you're around good people and enjoying the moment, and who cares?
You'll be closer than the ones that never tried anyway, eh, brother?
Exactly,
if you
bro.
don't get there. And that's, you know,
Exactly.
enjoy the journey. Beautiful, brother. And last one, brother. You're in your 35th year of life, I believe. Is that true? Or
34, nearly 35, nearly.
No,
nearly.
but 35th year of life, right?
Yeah,
35
yeah,
you're coming in.
right.
All right. So what does the 45th year of life look like? Visualization, talking about vision, looking ahead to Elliot Dixon in 10 years' time.
In 10 years' time. Oh, that's a bit of a scary thought. My eldest boy will be nearly 19. So he'll be having a beer with
Highlander.
me. Maybe. It'll be interesting to see where he loves rugby. He's rugby mad, loves hunting. We go hunting for rabbits and stuff, but we don't go hunting. But he'll be 19. My other son will be 18. My daughter will be nearly 15, which is scary.
Oh, scary, cousin. I'm not looking forward to that either. The teenage daughter one.
Yeah. I think for me, I think it would be obviously whānau is really important. It will be trying to make the most of the time that I've lost and missed out on going away all the time with my career, with my rugby career, is try and make up that while the kids are still in at home, and they're still in the footy, and they've not walked out just yet. Because I read something a little bit scary the other day, was where like up until 18 is 90% of the time you'll see your kids is up until 18, and then after that it's only going to be like 10%, because obviously they move out and they get their own family.
Wow, that's crazy.
So from 0 to 18 is 95% or 90% of your time with them, and then the rest of it's 10% over the rest of your life. So just make the most of that. Go on holidays, try and do more with them, enjoy that time, and then obviously try and build another career that I'm proud of as well. Like not just have one successful career, but
to not just be known as Elliot Dixon, the rugby player, and that's it. Like
be successful in multiple things. Whether that be investing, whether that be with my job now, or whether it be with a new job. That would be quite cool. But most importantly, as successful as being a father, I think would be the most. If I got that in 10 years' time and someone said that you tick only that one off, I'd be happy as.
I'm with you, because I asked that question to a few people, most people, and I always say what one said to me, what about you? I was like, yeah, exactly that. Like I heard a quote from a like business guy saying the true mark of a man is not how much money he can attain, but if his kids want to hang out with him when they're older. So like that's something that I hope for my cuz. I hope for that 100%, just like you, my cousin. So we can hopefully make that 10% a bit bigger, eh?
Maybe 15%.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take it, cuzzy. I'll take it. But time's the most valuable commodity. Oh, what's that? Go, cuzzy.
No, I was just saying, hopefully when we get them there as well, they'll pay for us to go to the home, or they won't send us to the home.
They won't. No, you want Mars? No, I want Jaws. No.
Yeah, it's a full circle, man.
Tate, cuz. But yeah, like I said, by the time, my brother. Exactly. Right. As I said, by the time's the most valuable commodity we have as human beings, cuzzy. And thank you for sharing your time with us. Thank you. I know this time is precious. This is time you could be spending with your wife. So I really, really appreciate that, my cuzzy. It means the world. And I hope you enjoyed the kōrero. And hopefully when I hit up Christchurch, if you're around, or even if you're in Perth, cuzzy, hit me up. We'll catch up for Heineken or 3,000.
It's awesome, bro. It's been good fun, and have a good night. I'm not too sure what time it is over there. It might be just in the afternoon, but I'll catch up with you hopefully when you're ever in the chair, the O3. Give us a bell. Give us a message on Instagram. And if I'm ever in Perth doing mines, maybe I might be in the mines. You never know.
I don't mind. I got heaps of cousins and heaps of fun in there. If you need to connect, cuzzy, can't promise you anything, but I can, throw you over to a few people. I can give a number or whatever. Floors, yeah, I can throw a few people your number, whatever. If you need to, just hit me up, cuzzy. No worries.
Cheers, brother. Awesome, man.
I'm here, my brother. Big love, man.
Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.